2020, suddenly a terrible storm started in the middle of the desert on our world, and that storm opened a wormhole-type portal through which it was easy to go to another universe. But that universe was ruled by terrible monsters. So let's see this extraordinary story of humans and monsters. At the beginning of the story, we see a huge ship in the water, but this ship was not moving on water, but on sand. In fact, this world was not our world, but it was another world. There were many warriors on the ship who were going towards a tower in front of them. In fact, this is the sky tower from which a road to another world has flowed. That is, through this tower, it is also possible to go from this world to our world. So many terrible monsters lived in this world. And then a monster from the desert attacked their ship. This attack was so terrible that these warriors could not cope with the monster in any way. And due to this attack, one of their companions gets buried in the sand from the ship. He also screams for help, but no one on the rest of the ship hears his screams. The rest think he is dead and leave the ship. On the other hand, our world is shown where there are two teams of soldiers in the desert. These two teams were going back and forth on a mission. At that moment, the team behind comes to know that their team A, that is, those who went before, has suddenly disappeared somewhere in the middle of the desert. Hearing this, they start moving forward continuously to find their team A. Then they saw big stones in the middle of the road that had something written on them in a very old language that they didn't know anything about. They couldn't understand what was happening. Then they saw that the tire tracks of the team that had gone before them had suddenly disappeared. And after going a little further, they saw that a huge storm was coming towards them from the front. They were all very scared because the storm was very terrible. The captain of their team was named Natalie. Now they all fell into this storm, and Natalie ordered her soldiers to quickly get out of this storm, but the storm was so terrible that it blew their cars away. And when the storm calmed down, they all fell into a desert. But strangely, the sand of this desert was completely white. They had actually reached a new world through that storm. There they find their lost team, who have been brutally killed here. The burnt bodies of all their soldiers were lying here. But the surprising thing here was that there was no sign of a fight there. That is, there was no way to understand who attacked these soldiers, because there were only a few shells lying there. But they did not understand anything about who those bullets were aimed at. Then they took their car and started moving forward slowly from there. That's when the warrior who fell from the ship into the sand at the beginning of the story saw them. When they tried to cross the road made of a huge skeleton in the car, the size of the skeleton, and the sky fell on their heads, because I don't know how big the skeleton of an animal that is so big can be. And right then the warrior shot an arrow and warned them as if he wanted to say that this place is not safe for them. Natalie understood immediately, so they all wanted to get out of there quickly. But then the monster under the sand attacked them. The huge monster killed some of Natalie's companions on the spot. Seeing all this, the warrior came forward to help them. He tried to move the monster away with an arrow so that Natalie and some of her companions could escape from the monster. Actually, the warrior was a human being of this world. So, after all this, the huge monster was not leaving them behind. So the soldiers entered a cave there. They thought they might have survived, but then the spider monster came inside the cave and attacked the soldiers one by one, and attacked Natalie, and the spider monster knocked her unconscious. Everyone thought Natalie might have died, so the rest of them tried to escape by fighting the spider, but the monsters killed them all. But luckily Natalie, who was still alive, freed herself from the spider's web. But then the spider came back and caught her. The spider took her to a place where its eggs were kept. Here Natalie also found one of her partners, and she wanted to go out with her partner. But the spider's poison spread too much in her partner's body. So before she died, she only told Natalie that, "Captain, you have to get out of here anyway." Then Natalie slowly started climbing up from the cave alone, and her companion died there. The spider still didn't leave her behind, so whenever Natalie was about to go out, her feet slipped and she fell down again. Then Natalie put the flare or fire in her hand into the spider's mouth, which caused the spider to burn there. And at this opportunity, Natalie somehow got out of there. The spider also wanted to come out, but that monster couldn't come into the sun. Natalie then realized that these monsters couldn't come into the sun. Then Natalie went to the highest place there and saw that there was nothing around except white desert. Seeing this, she was completely disappointed, and she threw a stone lying in front of her onto the sand to see if that huge monster can come out of the sand during the day, but as soon as he falls, the monster does not come out again. Tally understands that the monsters can understand who is where when there is a slight vibration in this sand. Moreover, the monsters of this desert are able to attack during the day. Natalie moves forward from there and reaches a place where she sees the ship shown at the beginning of the story, meaning that the ship could not move forward from here. The ship was destroyed here by the monster's attack. Anyway, Natalie needed food and water a lot now, so she went to the ship in the hope that there might be some food or water here. That's when the hunter suddenly attacked her. This is the hunter who fell off the ship at the beginning of the story and helped Natalie. But Hunter thinks that people from other worlds can be a danger to them if they come to this world. So a fight starts here between Natalie and Hunter. So both of them were very good fighters, but somehow Hunter captured Natalie on this journey and took her to his camp. This place was always safe from monsters day or night. So anyway, now Hunter tries to find a way out of this world so that he can return this girl to his own world anyway. When he returned to the road, he saw that Natalie was still where he left her. Natalie immediately attacked Hunter from behind, and this time, Natalie turned around and captured Hunter. Then the fight started between them again, and while fighting they both came out, and then Hunter's feet slipped, and he started falling down. The hole he was falling into was where those spider monsters were. But before his hand could slip, Natalie realized that they should not fight now, because if one of the two died, then the other would survive. Because to survive the attack of those monsters, they both have to be together. So finally, Natalie pulls Hunter up and saves his life. Then Natalie unties Hunter's clothes and gives him chocolate to eat. The chocolate Hunter has never eaten in his entire life. They both decide that they will help each other, although Hunter could not understand anything Natalie said, but gradually, because they were together, they could understand each other's words through gestures. So here Hunter tells him that they have to go to that tower ahead. Once they reach there, they can go back to their own world or home. So Natalie points to Hunter and tells him that I have a bio car in front of me, which has many big weapons and bombs inside. Once we get those weapons, we can kill the monsters. Hunter laughs at her and tells him that you can't do anything to the monsters with those weapons. To kill these monsters, we have to take the help of some other monster. She tells Natalie that we can kill this sand monster with the poison of the spider monsters that are underground. But first, we have to collect that poison. So at night, they set a trap to catch the spider monster. And finally, Natalie stands there as bait to catch that monster. And when the spider monster comes after him to catch him, that monster gets trapped in Hunter's trap. Then Hunter breaks the poisonous sting of that monster and takes it with him. And now at night, Hunter makes a terrible weapon with that poisonous sting, so that the monster under the sand can be killed very easily. But this task was not that easy to do. So he started giving Natalie all the terrible training from the next day so that she can use their weapons, and she can be skilled enough to fight with the monster. So now the next morning they all call that monster outside. Then they try to kill that monster very bravely. Hunter pierces the monster's eyes with that poisoned arrow. As a result, the monster dies, but one of his eyes is badly damaged. Then we see that Natalie comes with her gun and starts shooting at the monster. Not only that, but she also starts blasting bombs. But after all this, the monster was not dying in any way, So now Hunter jumps on the monster's head and goes to insert the sword. But before that, the monster throws him down in a flash. In this incident, Hunter becomes unconscious. And now Natalie will have to fight this battle alone. So then Natalie climbs on the monster's head. And the sword that Hunter left behind is stuck in the monster's head. As a result, the huge monster dies in a short time. Meanwhile, Hunter was unconscious by then, so Natalie pulls him forward towards the desert path. But on the way, Hunter regains consciousness. Then the two of them cross the desert, and they reach a place where there is drinking water and a lot of green trees around. Hunter already knew this place because he is a resident of this place. And there were no harmful monsters in this place. The ones that were there were strange to look at, but they were vegetarians like cows and goats. So now, at night, when the two of them were sitting and talking, a huge fire-breathing dragon came there. This dragon was actually the most terrifying monster in this world. So as soon as the dragon came, all the animals in the forest started running away from here. And before the dragon could crush Natalie and Hunter, some of Hunter's companions came here, and they were saved on this journey. Among Hunter's companions was Admirallo, who was the leader of Hunter. He realized that Natalie was not a person from their world, so he imprisoned Natalie. But Natalie herself was a soldier, so she escaped from this prison. But soon she faced the Admiral again. But this time the Admiral told her that Hunter told me that you are a good person, and there is no reason to be afraid of us. I actually thought at first that people from other worlds could be a cause of harm to us, but after hearing Hunter's words, my mistake was broken, so Natalie was surprised to see the Admiral speaking in her own language. She asked her, "How do you know our language?" The Admiral told her that you are not the first to come here from your world. Many people have come before. Through them, I was able to learn your language. So Natalie asked him, "But how did we come to your world?" The Admiral told her that the people living in this world were of a much older civilization than the people of Earth. They had advanced so much in knowledge that they had found a way to go to any world in the universe through a huge tower. But due to the failure of some terrible experiments as a result of excessive knowledge in science, the people of this world themselves are destroyed. But that road to travel to other worlds remains even today. Then the Admiral shows him the huge tower in front and says that those people built this tower. And through this tower, you can go to any place in the universe, including your world. We want to close that road forever, because we don't want anyone from your world to come here and get into danger, or the monsters here to go to some other world in the universe and put their world in danger. The Admiral also says that we have tried many times to destroy that tower before, but our mission fails. And Hunter also gets separated from us. We thought that Hunter was no longer alive, but now that Hunter and you are with us, then we will try again and hope that this time we will definitely be able to destroy that tower. So now, the next morning, they all set off towards that place to close the tower, and within a while they reach there. So when they reach there, Natalie again sees the same kind of stone that she saw in their own world. There were strange writings on the stones, which she still cannot understand, because these writings were the ancient language of the people of this world. So here, because of that tower, automatic electricity was being generated all around, due to which rain and stormy winds started blowing. Just then, that huge dragon came there, which attacked Natalie and Hunter before. It was very scary. Now there was storm, rain and lightning, as well as fire all around. Seeing all this, the Admiral said that if this dragon has to be killed, then it has to be killed at the exact moment when it draws air in to release fire from its mouth, because at that time this dragon is the weakest. So now the dragon attacks all of them, and they also attack back. But it was not that easy to kill this dragon, because when the dragon releases fire repeatedly, a terrible storm starts there. It was just like the storm through which Natalie and her team reached this world, which means that because of this dragon, many things are activated here, and the way back to the world is also opened. So at this stage of the fight, that dragon comes in front of Natalie. And now the dragon is going to throw fire at her. Natalie has no place to escape, so she jumps down from the mountain. And fortunately, there was a storm below through which she reaches the earth directly. As soon as she reaches her own world, that is, the earth, she sees that a huge army team is waiting to find them. They are surprised to see Natalie alive. They immediately rescue Natalie and try to take her to safety by treating her. But then the dragon also comes there. In fact, the dragon also jumped into the storm after Natalie. And now he has come to our world. That dragon attacks the soldiers randomly. And in the blink of an eye, he kills all the soldiers and destroys all their planes. But even after this terrible accident, Natalie was still alive. And she had the weapons from the other world that she got from Hunter and his team. With these weapons, Natalie immediately attacked the dragon. And when the dragon was about to shoot fire to kill Natalie, Natalie threw many grenades into its stomach. Immediately, all the bombs inside the dragon's stomach exploded. The dragon started burning in fire, and gradually it froze. Natalie was very happy to see that. She thought that she had killed the dragon alone, but her idea was completely wrong, because this dragon made of fire was still alive. She stood up again and was about to kill Natalie again. Just then, Hunter came there, and this time, Hunter himself started shooting many arrows at the dragon. Also, Admiral had also reached there, and now they all attacked this dragon together. The dragon was already very weak, so this time. Finally, due to the intensity of their attack, the dragon died there. Admiral now tells them that the way to go to another world is still open. And soon many monsters may come to your world. If we can't close that road, this world will be destroyed forever. At that moment, we see another huge dragon coming from behind the storm, which is about to come to the world. So the three of them set off to kill that dragon, because if they don't kill it, it might destroy the whole world. On the other hand, we see the world of hunters where a policeman who wasn't human, but looked a bit like a cat is fighting monsters, and a man wearing a hoodie is secretly watching all this from a distance. We don't know who that man is, and it was a post-credit scene, meaning that maybe the second part of this story is going to come through this story. Anyway, tell me how you liked the story in the comments. The remaining questions that were not given in the story. For example, what I said about that policeman at the end of the story and that man wearing a hoodie. Maybe we will see it if the next episode ever comes. So today, I'm saying goodbye here.